Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Michigan, this video is going to be for you because you may not know this, but you are slowly being bled your constitutional rights. Don't believe me? I'm going to show you 4 particular bills kicking around in your state legislature right now, all of which actually are going to disarm you in one way or another, and probably you haven't heard of any of them yet. So today, let's spend a few minutes. Let's get the folks in Michigan educated, and let's talk about how Michigan is slowly disarming all of its citizens. Okay, hey, before we get going too far down the road, we're going down. Let's remember this video is being brought to us by our good friends at the Sonoran Desert Institute. That's right, launch your career in the firearms industry today. Arm yourself with education starting today, and most importantly, start defending the inalienable rights of millions of Americans nationwide, all through education. The Sonoran Desert Institute has a program and/or certification for just about any need that you may have. For more information, visit my good friends at sdi.edu or check them out in the description box below. Michigan, you are slowly being disarmed by not 1, not 2, but 4 separate pieces of legislation this legislative session. You're sitting there going, well, I didn't hear about any gun bans. No, it's not about gun bans. They're not going to take away what types of firearms you can have, at least not this legislative session, at least not yet. No, what they're going to do is they're going to take away many more places in which you can actually lawfully possess a firearm. That means they are going to place you in more and more places in public where you are not in a position to defend your life or your loved ones. Okay, let's start in the Senate first. There are 2 bills kicking around there, Senate Bill 857 and 858. Now, one of the things these bills would do is they would basically turn your entire government campus, your state capitol campus, into a gun-free zone. No matter what your license to carry status is, you would not be allowed to carry a firearm on state capitol grounds, with one huge exception, of course, and that's being for the legislators themselves. So they don't want anyone else armed on the capitol grounds, but of course they still want to remain armed. Think about that for a second. Now, 858 also had a lot of other restrictions that have since been watered down, but at one point it would have restricted the possession of firearms at any place that even sells alcohol. Now, I want you to understand that in Washington State, we have a prohibition on any place that the Liquor Control Board is designated as age 21 and over. So it's a place that is clearly serving alcohol. Michigan's prohibition would have been any place that sells alcohol. And depending on how your state sells the booze, I don't know if you can sell it in grocery stores, every state's a little bit different, convenience stores, things like that. But you consider all the places where some form of alcohol could be sold, and then realize that each and every one of those would have become a gun-free zone. That is a large swath of the state of Michigan. So even though that has been removed from the bill this year, Michigan, you need to be very, very aware that there will be another run at that in the very near future. Now, days earlier, your House of Representatives passed both House Bill 4127 and 4128, which is going to make all election polling places in the state of Michigan and any areas associated therewith, whatever that means, a gun-free zone as well. Now, there is still time to voice your objection. I'm sure your governor is all ears. But we are going to go ahead and put a link down below in the description box that the good folks over at the NRA, ILA have used so that you can actually connect with the governor's office and send her a direct professional response and tell her not to sign any one of these bills. Michigan, what I need you to understand is some people think that gun-free zones aren't really that big of a deal. But then you go and you take a look at kind of some of the stats that come from Dr. John Lott over at the Crime Prevention Research Center, and you take a look at how many mass shootings actually occur in gun-free zones. And then you find stats like this, and that's what makes you realize that, yes, listen, the more and more gun-free zones your state legislature is passing, the more and more dangerous they are actually making their communities. In Michigan, I can assure you that this is just the first step in a long parade of steps that will be taken that will just slowly increase all the areas in Michigan where you simply cannot possess a firearm. Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up everything down below. We'll link the bills up down below. We'll go ahead and put the link down there from the NRA ILA so that if you want to stay involved and contact your governor and give her a piece of your mind politely and professionally, you may do so. If you got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. Maybe you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here. Cool. You click on that link right there. You let us know. Hopefully we end up doing it because it's probably going to be better than any idea we come up with. If you just want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's remember the part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. And stay safe.